Welcome back, everybody. Another IBG newsletter from Oxford Partners. This installment, we're talking about tech for teams. So we wanted to just put together a few bullet points, some interesting technology pieces that we're using for our team, just help everybody collaborate, make sure they're on the same page, and make sure they're sharing intel. So first up, we had Scout Space. Ryan, you want to take that?
Right. Yeah. So this is a tool that we've been using for a while, some of us, and we're in the process of integrating our entire team. And many of you might know Scout Space is an online property survey tool that we've been using. It's a great tool for teams. However, when any user generates any type of survey or property data, that's shared within the team. And so we have over 10 users and counting in Scout Space and all their transaction managers. So whenever any property information is put into any of their Scout Space seats, it can be shared among everyone in the team. So that helps preliminary survey generation run much more quickly. And then also a neat tool that we're really enjoying right now is they've launched a comps database tool where we share all of our deals, we present them in our meetings, and then insert them into our internal comps database. And then we also collaborate with other landlord agent companies and friendly tenant rep companies on their comps. So we trade comps there and then use various tools to get comps. And we can put that into Scout Space. All those comps, rather than from a Google Sheet or from various sources, can get consolidated into Scout Space, where again, everyone has access to it and they can view it. And it also has some cool technology. We put in the address, it'll auto-populate the Google Street View of that document, which actually, when you're doing industrial real estate, is quite useful. As office is pretty homogeneous, but there's a lot of variety in industrial. And just because it's industrial comp, you don't know if it's a manufacturing facility, a distribution facility, or flex property. So that helps us arrive to those most relevant comps as fast as possible. And they're also launching, this is pre-launch, but some pretty cool broker opinion of value templates from a sales perspective and from a lease perspective, where it can pull in all those comps and generate some pretty fancy looking reports and does some other things and just helps collaborate among our agents, doing deals, running surveys. How do you like this building and the other building? When we decided to talk about this topic, I thought, man, Scout Space would be a great tool to share.
Yeah, for sure. I think it comes down to there's no shortage of information, but you've got to do a really good job of consolidating it, making sure it's easy for everybody to get to. Everybody can find it, have visibility, and then most importantly, put it into a nice, presentable format to put in front of a client.
Right.
Which we found it's been good for that so far. So
Yeah, nothing's idiot proof, but it's idiot proof as you can make it. That's better.
yeah,
And Scout Space, good job of consolidating all that data.
yeah. So that's the number one, Scout Space. Number two would be Loom. So really any type of screen sharing software, there are others out there. We've just found Loom is very easy to use, very easy to get launched, has a nice Google Chrome plugin that works either on your desktop or on your browser. And so we use this to just record our screen and our audio for a whole number of different things. Ryan, I don't know, you probably do this every single day in our office for staffing.
Yeah, I'm top 99.5% of every year. At the end of every year, I get like a little email. You're like top user. Getting the office videos a year, literally. Yeah.
Power users for sure. Yeah. So everything from internal, sending a quick update to some of our agents with something that's changing in the database or changing software, rolling something out, client communications. So if you're sending them a proposal and you want to go through and highlight a few points, if you're making some red lines to a lease and you want to explain something to them that we may want to have a phone call about, but it's probably better to have them listen to that video first, maybe not even need the phone call after that. That's super helpful. They can watch it 5 times if they're having trouble understanding it.
Exactly. It saves a lot of time. I don't know how many phone calls we probably eliminate just from recording a video of our thoughts that can get passed around in their office. Just it's a time saver. And I love to use it. Everyone I think always first thinks I'm crazy. Maybe some of them still think I'm crazy, but I've converted a lot of users, not necessarily in Oxford Partners, but at other brokerage companies and even like architects, like space plan meetings. As long as it's simple, we're able to eliminate space plan meetings just by reviewing a space plan, like in Paint, just scratch over it, talk through what you need, send that to the architect, and they come back with a 95% acceptable plan. And then you can just do some comments over email. Just completely eliminates that space plan meeting a lot of the occasions.
You're combining the best stuff. If you were to write an email, you could write out all the detail, but somebody might not really read the whole thing and they may miss certain points. And then if you were to just have a call and nobody recorded it or took good notes, then you still might miss something. And so you're combining the best of both of those and making sure you're moving faster, which is what our deals are about, what our business is about. Try to close things down by moving the deal faster, keeping the velocity, keeping the momentum. So It's definitely helped us do that. So that's two. Number three would be, we obviously are big on Google just as our platform. So we use Google Docs and we use Google for email, and big on trying to implement Gemini AI and all the tools through the Google ecosystem. Personally, I use Dropbox as well for file storage, but really using any type of cloud-based storage. So it could be Dropbox, could be Google, could be OneDrive, could be something else, but just cloud-based, accessible anywhere. You can add your team members to it. So everybody's using the same set of documents. Just helps make sure that you're collaborating in real time rather than trying to share documents back and forth through an email and working off the wrong revision, and just generally takes too long if you're not doing that. So it's an easy layout at this point.
And I'm always big on if you're going to work in a team, you need to have some type of shared document that is real time that you guys can comment back and forth on and add notes to and change, rather than just have these inefficient phone calls where then no to-dos are created and then nothing happens. If you get in the habit of working off of these shared documents, which are part of that are SOPs, that really helps with the team collaboration. I was just looking right here, just at our SOP subfolder and our group list folder that we work on together, Chase, and with many others in our company. And there's like over 40 shared documents. So you have to have a document that summarizes all the documents, but we do just all kinds of different things. This is very important.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. What's up next?
Pivot to prospecting tools, which can be an individual kind of issue used individually, but there are a lot of team component aspects to some of the tools that we're using. We just chose to focus on the top two. The first would be outreach.io. That's our sales enablement platform, our CRM, if you will. And we can skip all the cool sequencing and automations and all of that goes along with it, and the buyer intent and everything that goes along with it. I just wanted to focus on our CRM, our sales enablement platform is very open. Our culture is very open. So we have, at this point, 7 years history of shared notes. When anybody calls on a company, we have all the recorded calls there. We have all the notes shown. We know who everyone's working with, who everyone worked with and decided not to work with anymore. It's just extremely open. And so that scared us to go from a more private type of brokerage to open, which a big part of that was traction and EOS and running that system. Yeah. And it ended up not being a really big deal. We rarely ever step on each other's toes. Sometimes one of our agents will set a meeting or pick up a deal with the prospect and then remember after the fact, someone else has already met with them or has been prospecting. So they just go over, hey, I did this. Is it okay? Sometimes it's okay. Other times, let's just co-broker it together. And then they're collaborating more as a team if they wouldn't. Having a CRM that's open, everyone can see everything. I think it's important if you're looking to build a collaborative team. So that's the first thing. That's mostly focused on our cold calling and our email marketing.
Yeah.
We also do a lot of door knocking, what we call live calling. And so the tool that we use for that is Spotio. And that's a great tool that carries with you on your phone. They got a great app. And that's for whenever you live call, door knock on companies. There's tools there where you can see the last person that door knocked an office building, an industrial park, or a specific building. You can actually see. And then that also helps to collaborate, spread out prospecting efforts. So you're not repeating processes too frequently, just spread out and call on other companies. So you can see that history, you can see where people are going. And then same thing, you carry it with it, you write your notes. So when you're on that platform, you can see all the notes that other people made while live calling different buildings, or maybe the same building they're popping in. It's been 2 or 3 years since we've live called. You can look at those notes, reference a prior conversation. And then that also syncs with outreach as well. So they speak with each other. So that's incredibly important as well.
Right. And again, it's just plenty of agents all around the country are doing this, going knocking on doors, doing this on an individual level. But if you've got a bunch of people in a team or just individually, but part of a firm, if you can consolidate that information, it's going to help everybody. And that's part of our culture just internally. It's just we want to be collaborative. We want to share information, and we want to be more like we grow together. We might make ourselves better individually by making the team better. And so that's just a philosophy and a culture that we have in our firm. And so it's probably to do some of these things and collaborate this way, you have to have that mentality or adopt that mentality about it. But it's worked for us.
Right. Yeah. I think that wraps it up this month. Yeah, it wraps it up this month. We wanted to keep it short and sweet. Appreciate everybody tuning in.
Thank you very much.